Yesterday, November 17th, was another key date in the MLB offseason. This was the non-tender deadline. Essentially, this was the last date for an MLB franchise to extend an offer to any pre-arbitration or arbitration-eligible players. Otherwise, those players would become a free agent. And with this being the case, you saw some various trades happen around the league, including the Mariners and the Red Sox making a trade. The Mariners sent right-handed pitcher Isaiah Campbell to the Red Sox in exchange for infielder Luis Urías. And so now this marks the third offseason in a row that the Mariners have made a trade to acquire an infielder and specifically a second baseman. 2 years ago in the 2021 offseason, the Mariners made a trade with the San Diego Padres to acquire then all-star second baseman Adam Frazier. And actually, that was the very first video that I posted on my channel, was talking about that trade specifically. We all know how that trade went for the Mariners. The next offseason, it was trading Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro to the Brewers in exchange for Kolten Wong and some cash. And again, we know how that trade went for the Mariners. And now for the third offseason in a row, the Mariners have traded for an infielder in Luis Urías. He's not just a second baseman. If you look at his numbers over his 6 seasons in Major League Baseball so far, his timeshare has been spread out pretty evenly from second base, shortstop, and third base. He played the most at third base throughout his career so far. Now, just to get ahead of it, this trade is not like the Adam Frazier or the Kolten Wong trade. This trade is nowhere near as hyped as those trades were. Again, Adam Frazier was coming off of an all-star appearance that year. Kolten Wong was coming off of a down year. Before that, he had won a couple Gold Gloves and he had a solid bat. Luis Urías up to this point hasn't performed all that well in his career, but we'll take a look at his career numbers. So let's get into looking at Isaiah Campbell, Luis Urías, this trade as an overall and how it might pan out. Starting with Luis Urías, he is 26 years old and in 2023 appeared in 52 games between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Boston Red Sox. He batted .194 with 6 doubles, 3 home runs, with a .337 on-base percentage. He was traded from the Brewers to the Red Sox on August 1st. He spent 2 different stints on the IL in 2023 and again appeared in just 52 games. So far through his 6 Major League seasons with the San Diego Padres, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Boston Red Sox, he has a batting average over his career of .234. He has an on-base percentage of .333 and a slugging percentage of .387. And as I mentioned, he is a utility infielder over his 6 seasons in the major leagues. He has played 191 games at third base, 158 games at second base, and 141 games at shortstop. As for the contract with Luis Urías, he is currently in his 3rd year of arbitration. He's estimated to make $4.7 million in arbitration in 2024, and he is under club control through the 2025 season, set to become a free agent in 2026. As for Isaiah Campbell, he was drafted by the Mariners in the 2nd round of the 2019 MLB draft out of Arkansas. He started his professional career in 2021 with the Everett Aqua Sox in High A, although his season ended prematurely after he had to undergo elbow surgery. He started the 2022 season as a starting pitcher, which is what he was at Arkansas, but he continued to experience discomfort in his elbow, was put on the injured list, and then when he came back, he came out of the bullpen. And in 2023, he made his MLB debut at the age of 25 out of the bullpen, and in 27 relief appearances, he had a 2.83 ERA, a 1.221 WHIP, and a 10.4 strikeouts per 9 and a 4.1 walks per 9. As for Isaiah Campbell's contract, with him making his MLB debut in 2023, he will be under club control through his 6th year of service time, so realistically, he'll become a free agent around 2028 or 2029. So honestly, this is not an impactful move whatsoever for the Mariners or really for the Red Sox. This is just a depth move in general. Isaiah Campbell had some injury history, and for the Mariners, he was going to be just another bullpen arm. Go look at the Mariners bullpen depth and their pitching depth as a whole. You just put in Prelander, Baroa in exchange for Isaiah Campbell, and that problem is solved right there. As for Luis Urías, he's essentially just a depth piece for the Mariners in the infield. He better not be platooning with Josh Rojas at second base because his bat does not warrant it. But you look at this news release from the Mariners, they tendered contracts to 30 players on the MLB roster. They already had 10 players under contract for the 2024 season. Their infielders listed on here are now Jose Caballero, Ty France, Josh Rojas, and Luis Urías. You'll notice that Sam Haggerty was tendered a contract, although he's listed under outfielders. And then of course the players that are already signed through next year, you got JP Crawford, Dylan Moore, Eugenio Suarez, and Evan White are the remaining infielders that build out the Mariners roster. And in case you missed it, Mike Ford was designated for assignment and was not tendered a contract for next year, so he will become a free agent. So to recap, a very low impact trade. Essentially, the Mariners traded from a spot where they have a lot of depth in pitching to build out their major league infield depth just ever so slightly. And this is one of the first of the many trades we'll see the Mariners make this offseason. Hopefully, as the winter meetings will be taking place from December 3rd through 6th in Nashville, Tennessee, this is when we'll see the hot stove really fire up. This is when you'll see a lot of those big name free agents start to sign, or some of those bigger trades that we might see coming will start to happen. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below for this trade. Let me know who you think the Mariners should go get. And if you haven't seen my Mariners offseason preview, go check out this video right here.